Alright boys, we're talking about the hand cannon here, Warden's Law. This is the Nightfall exclusive hand cannon this week, and it is different than our normal hand cannons. This one is a burst fire hand cannon, actually a 2 burst fire hand cannon, meaning when you shoot, 2 bullets come out. Very unusual and the first of its type in Destiny. Now before we get into the video, shout out to Geo for landing this sexy thing. He's over on Twitch, fellas. In the description below will be his link. Feel free to check him out. But let's talk about this gun and whether or not these 2 burst fire hand cannons are worth using in Crucible. So we mentioned that it is an aggressive burst hand cannon, as in a 2 burst fire, but it's a 110 round per minute hand cannon. And really, the only difference is it splits the damage into 2 different bullets. So in comparison to other 110 round per minute hand cannons, it hits slightly more, approximately 2 more damage on the body and 1 extra damage on the crit. So nothing drastically changing it here in terms of damage. Now this one specifically, guys, is masterwork for range. I'm also rocking out with steady rounds, and it comes with Outlaw and Rampage. Not a bad set of perks here. But let's go over these stats real quick. Right off the bat, the stability, very poor. Reload speed, also pretty poor. Not as bad as some of our other 110s, but you know, not that great. Handling, also very poor. Now you see the handling being quick here. The handling was so bad to me, boys, that I had to use Ophidian aspects with it. It was the only thing to make this weapon feel snappy for me. So now that we got perks and stats out of the way, is this a weapon to be using in Crucible? Again, this is the only aggressive burst hand cannon that we know of in the game. It's unusual. It hits a little bit harder than our other 110s. But guys, it's at a huge disadvantage, because even though it fires both shots simultaneously, at times only one of those shots will actually connect, meaning your crit damage, instead of it being that 92, will only be 46. This was the big killer for me. On top of that, actually lining up those shots was way more difficult than your normal hand cannon. At times, I wondered if there was something wrong with it. It's almost as if I had to always aim for the neck to chin area of Guardians versus just popping them straight in the head with your normal hand cannons. Like I almost had to undershoot in order to make sure both shots connected. Now, I know what the design for this gun is supposed to be. It's a 1 crit, 2 body shot for all 200 health Guardians. It's meant to be a hard-hitting, reliable killer. But even with these set of perks, I find that the handling speed and the lack of registration puts this hand cannon behind a lot of others. So boys, in terms of if this Nightfall is worth grinding for this hand cannon, as of now, no. Honestly though, I wouldn't be surprised if Bungie came out and said something about reworking this gun in terms of its registration. Again guys, that registration to me felt way too off. Maybe it's because I came from the mindset that this was gonna work just like every other hand cannon, but this is not the first burst fire hand cannon we've actually played with. Crimson is a burst fire hand cannon, even though it's a 3-round burst, but it's way more manageable than what Warden's Law was for me. Guys, that is Warden's Law. I know I just crapped on this weapon, and for good reason. There's a lot of good hand cannons. If there's one thing I played with this past week that was good, it was the hand cannons. Ace of Spades, Luna's Howl. I've reviewed both of those guys, so check them out if you're looking for good hand cannons. As far as Warden's Law goes, I believe this one needs a little more love. Guys, thank you so much for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.
Get